Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers with Showsite, here once again with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. Lee, it's nice to have you back. We missed you last week, but I know that you were busy in North Carolina. So before we get on with today's show, how was your trip and how are the dogs?
I had a marvelous trip. I had great dogs, some really beautiful dogs, and some lovely exhibitors, and great show giving club. So, big shout out to the Speedway Cluster who knocked it out of the park um, with their gracious hospitality and how they treated their exhibitors. I posted some of the trophies on my Facebook feed. So you can go and look at what the trophies were. Beautiful group trophies for NOHS as well as the regular groups. It was really fun. Great panel judges. Fun.
Well, kudos to that club and to those trophy chairs. If any of you were in North Carolina this weekend, let us know how you did. So, Lee, today's kind of a special show, and I know everybody is busy today in preparation for Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. For those of you who may be tuning in from around the world, tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day here in the States, and it's a national holiday, and it's really a family holiday. So, we thought it would be great to discuss giving thanks and gratitude. So, wherever you are, let us know where you're from, let us know your breed, and let us know, if you will, what you are thankful for. Today's going to be all about gratitude. So, Lee, before we get started with giving thanks, remind everyone about the Dog Show Mentor program and the mastery class that you have been preparing for next year.
Oh, well, we have the link to the show site, to the page, and we have a link to the application. So we are ready to roll in January. Applications are being taken, and I already have some. So if you're serious about applying, there's a limited number of people are going to be allowed in this program. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one contact with me, and we are going to knock it again really wild. But I am grateful to the people who have helped me and are helping me, and you know who you are, to get this new program going so that more owner handlers can show quality and style with a great dog.
The Dog Show Mentor has spoken, and all of us are happy to spend time with you each and every Wednesday. And for a lucky few, they're going to be able to spend an entire year with you. And I'm assuming, Lee, you can be located anywhere in the world and be accepted into the mastery program. Is that correct? So you don't need to be
Yes.
a U.S. citizen. That's terrific. So check out the application, get your application in, and cross your fingers that you may be one of the few who are going to spend that year with Lee Whittier. Kristen, hello, and Ginger's back. Linda, Karen, so nice to have you here. If you look in the comments section, you will see the Dog Show Mentor Mastery application. I just want to let everyone know that they can take a look at that sooner rather than later. Lee, if I may, I would just like to start our day of thanks here by just thanking everyone who's part of this community. You know, Lee and I were talking before the show, and, a year ago, Ring Ready Live was not even a glimmer in either one of our eyes. And yet here we are continuously for 35 weeks, I believe. And we have you all to thank for building this community of owner handlers and people who are genuinely dedicated to their breeds and to the sport. And although Lee and I think we could talk just you and I for 30 minutes every Wednesday, but it's not just you and I. We're really sharing this experience with so many folks here at home and around the world. And we are genuinely grateful for your participation. We love hearing from you. Um, Lee, I'm sure you feel the same about our community here. I don't want to call you an audience. I feel that we are community.
Yeah, we are. And I was telling Dan that my next article, which he's going to see soon, um, is all about how the dog show community rallied around me in my early years. And that over time informed my desire and my passion to build an owner handler community, such as Dog Show Mentor, for all of us. It's not just you, it's me too, because I'm an owner handler and I include myself in that. Um, I'm exceptionally grateful to be working with someone as kind and talented, brilliant, really, as Dan.
Oh,
Thank you. I never would have thought that I would be working with the editor and illustrator and writer that he is so closely. So thank you, Dan.
oh, thank you for your kind words. I know kindness is one of the tenets of Dog Show Mentor. And Lee, if I may return the compliment, you bring to everything you do excellence, kindness, respect, grit. I've seen all of those qualities in you. You bring them to everything that you do. All of us get to enjoy those qualities in you every week. I too could not have imagined partnering with somebody who's as experienced as you, but also who genuinely lives the role of mentor. There are teachers by occupation, but then there are people who are born to teach. And I feel that as I've gotten to know you, you live what you preach. You're a teacher every day in everything that you do. And
Mhm.
I know how blessed I am to be a student, if you will, in addition to a partner here. But I'm sure that all of our uh, community here at Ring Ready Live feels the same. I mean, it is a privilege. Everyone, if you agree, let me know. But we get 30 minutes together with the Dog Show Mentor, and it's free. I mean, the things that I have learned in these 30 minutes, have been priceless. It's something that I certainly would pay for because there is value in these conversations. But Lee, what I especially love is like you, I've been an owner handler for many, many years, quite a few decades actually. And I kind of run the risk sometimes of thinking I know everything. I mean, I don't genuinely, but sometimes you
I
think, oh, I've
do.
got that. I've shown a puppy before. I've got this, and then all of a sudden, if that puppy doesn't challenge you, you may have a conversation with the Dog Show Mentor that challenges you, and you challenge me, and you challenge each of us in a way that is kind, that is thoughtful, and that is always thinking about what's best for the dog and the dog and owner handler team. So I hope that you all agree with me. There's not a show that we've had that I haven't ended and then thought, I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to have to think that way. I'm going to have to share that. We have this ability through this medium to record these conversations forever, and everybody has access to them. And if I forget something, if I feel that I need a refresher, I can always tap into the Dog Show Mentor via Facebook Live. So, Lee Whittier, definitely one of the biggest reasons I'm thankful this year. And Lee, I think you and I both can be thankful for our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the industry's greatest producer. Her name is Alex. She's behind the scenes. And if you enjoy listening to me and listening to Lee every Wednesday, that's only possible because Alex is behind the scenes running the treadmill, pulling the cranks, making sure everything's plugged in. When I disappear, she brings me back. And yeah, she is the unsung hero of Ring Ready Live. So and she's a lot of fun too. I mean, talk about just a wonderful dog person who knows her business and just brings energy, no matter the crisis. Because when it comes to technology, there's always some crisis happening. I've learned. And what do you think? You've worked quite closely with Alex as well, Lee,
She's the best in the business,
for sure.
period. And not only that, she is heartful
Hmm.
and she's a lovely dog person. She's part of our community, and we're not just working with an IT guru. We are working with someone who's part of this dog show community, and she's part of us, Dan and I. So thank you, Alex. We love you.
Yes, Alex, you are a owner handler who leads with her heart, as so many do. But you two have taught me a few things through these weeks of working together.
Let's read a few of these Thanksgiving ideas. We have someone from Sweden, Lena. Welcome. I think we've had you here before. And hi, Karen and Linda. Here we've got a big. Kristen is thankful for, as an owner handler, I finished my first AKC champion. Woohoo! I have been able to share my knowledge base with newbies and am exceptionally thankful for the village I am growing with everything I have dealt in and out of the ring. How lovely.
That's what it's all about. You touched on everything: your personal growth, sharing your knowledge, and being thankful for the village, for this community. Community is one of the cores of Dog Show Mentor. And again, Lee, we have a community here as well. It's nobody does, nobody owner handles their dog alone. I mean, sometimes it may feel that way, but win or lose, there's somebody who's in your corner. There's somebody who's part of your tribe, part of that village, and when you need them, they're there.
You cannot do it alone. Do not
No,
think you can do it alone.
no. I think you've helped me, Lee, to learn to ask for help. Ask for some guidance, do some research. Um, yeah,
And
it,
I just want to say here that did you tell me that the canine encyclopedia that you illustrated with uh, Ed Gilbert was back in print again?
well, I don't know that to be true. I posted on Facebook, it came up on my memories, the cover,
Hmm.
which has several of my illustrations. And so I reposted that. Whenever that happens, I generate, or it seems to generate interest. If it is not back in print and you are listening and you would like to purchase a copy, write to Dogwise and let them know that there's a demand for the
Yeah.
Encyclopedia of Canine Terminology. I have to admit, it is a volume that should be in all of our libraries. It was a labor of love for Ed and Pat Gilbert, who has since passed. And it is, well, Lee, it's a wonderful reference. No
It
matter your
is.
your level of experience, there's something in there that's going to be educational and informative for you, for sure.
So don't you think, Dan, it's time for you to have a word of the day?
Hmm, that's a
Hmm.
great idea.
I
Well,
mean, before every Dog Show Mentor meeting, webinar, I have researched a word, and I ask my members, who sometimes research it and sometimes don't, but to research a word. So we start every meeting with just a word and how it's applied, um,
hmm.
and we talk about it, and it elicits conversation and curiosity, and it brings knowledge, and sometimes those words bring knowledge to the more experienced people as well as the newer people, because people don't always they use a word, but they don't always understand the proper use of the word, or the depth of the understanding of the word, right? So I think, or
What would you
thought,
like?
that Dan, since you're the one who, I mean, I'm using your work, but why don't you use your own work, and every day you can put a word of the day on Facebook, on your Facebook page, and have fun with that.
That's a wonderful, wonderful idea. Thank you for that, Lee. And I will take you up on that. Uh, and I will begin today. I think
How's that putting you into a corner?
well, listen, if I'm there in the corner with you, I'm happy to be in the corner. But
I'll
I
be right
think,
behind you.
listen, Ed Gilbert, I mean, that is a man whose love for this sport is as deep and as broad as the book that he wrote and that Dogwise published. And I think that uh, for all of the community, but for Ed as the author, I'd be honored to have a word of the day that is in the Encyclopedia of Canine Terminology.
Well, and what if we had uh, a word of the week here at Facebook Live, Ring Ready? What do you guys think? Put your ideas. If you like it, thumbs up in the chat while we look and see who else has some gratitude. So Ray with Vicenges in Tampa, hi Ray, and Chris, South Carolina, Dobermans and Legatos. Susan is grateful for a wonderful husband who understands my dog and horse passions. Aren't
Oh,
you lucky? Absolutely. Kindness always makes the best impression. I'm looking forward to re-entering the show scene. Karen, welcome back. What is your breed, Karen? Yes. Thank you, Ray, for giving a shout out to Alex and
yes,
Susan and Sandy. Okay, I see. Here we go.
that's
Shayna
beautiful.
says, I second some of the other comments. I'm very thankful for a supportive husband and family, wonderful breeders, mentors, and everyone at Dog Show Mentor. Thank you so much.
I love that comment. I think if you want to know what love looks like, it looks like that guy who's back at home feeding and Xing the dogs while you and your number one are out there living your dream every weekend. You said earlier, Lee, we can't do this alone. And that includes the men and women back home who are holding down the fort. And they do it out of love for us. And yes, let's be thankful to all of them. Angela, I love this, Angela. Thankful for the breeders who came before me to produce the dogs who have contributed to my breeding program. And of course, those who continue
Yeah.
to preserve the Doberman breed. Yes, none of us would have our dogs without the breeders who came before us. And, it was said to me once that, the breed didn't start with your first dog's breeder. Like when you get that first show dog, that dog's breeder is your world. Everything is about
Right.
that person. But they were a rookie once too, and they got their first dog from someone, and so on and so on. And yes, um, I feel that my duty is to preserve what was passed on to me. So yes, let's give thanks to all those breeders who came before us.
And it looks like a few people like the idea of having a word of the day. So maybe we could have one next time and see how that goes.
Maybe what we could do for next week, as part of next week's show, is to spend the week leading up to it um, discussing that word on social media, and then we can maybe incorporate that word into our show. We're a work in progress, folks. So Lee threw out this wonderful idea, and I think that if I know Lee as well as I think I do, I think this is going to become a feature with Ring Ready Live, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's a way that we can offer more education, and we can all learn something. And who knows, maybe that
Yeah.
book will be back in print as well.
I
Uh,
mean, when I was younger, I don't know how old, maybe in my 30s, I always would go to the dictionary every day and just open it and learn a word. Didn't you do that?
oh
Maybe you still
yes,
do it.
I still do that. Oh yes.
Yeah, I've lost the habit of it.
Several months ago, Walter Sommerfeld, who is a contributing writer with Showsite magazine, he wrote about his childhood experience in Cleveland, going to the Cleveland Public Library, which is a beautiful, beautiful building. But he would go there, as I did in Philadelphia, and Lee, you probably did as well, and go to that dog book section and just sit and devour information. Back when I was a kid, Howl Bookhouse was the publisher of purebred
Mhm.
dog books. I've got many on my library shelves. I would love to have a complete collection one of these days. But all of those breed books were written by breeders who were recognized experts in those breeds. And whatever your breed, folks, if you can get um, on those sites where you can find old books for auction, I'm sorry, but I'm blanking on those websites. But get your hands on some of those old breed books. A lot of great information there. A lot of photographs that you can study. I think that old books are something that I'm very grateful for. Maybe old and new books, but some information in those pages is just never going to be anything other than great advice and a guide for moving forward. We all have to understand where our breeds have come from in order to
Yeah.
preserve them for the future. So, thank you for mentioning books, Lee. And Debbie here says that she's thankful for her first litter of deerhounds who are healthy and for all the mentoring that she's received from the
Oh, well, that's
breeder.
a real blessing,
Yes,
that
I have
breed.
high hopes for
Yeah,
another generation of owners and dog teams. Yes, let's be grateful for healthy dogs. We work hard to keep our dogs healthy, to make breeding decisions based on health tests. Thankfully, in virtually all of our breeds, there are tests that are available. We should all be utilizing those. And when we receive information that's disappointing, we need to understand how we may be able to still go forward with a specific animal, but in a way that is well, using all of the information that's available. If your dog is a carrier, not the end of the road for that particular animal, but you certainly need to breed a carrier carefully. And I don't want to get into the woods with that, but I just want to be thankful for the science that is making it possible to breed healthier animals, not only for ourselves and for our lines, but for all of those wonderful folks who call us looking for their forever
right. I
companion at home. It's really those folks that need us to be distinguished from those backyard breeders and those doodle breeders who don't have the burden of health testing, but we do, and we need to carry that burden, and we need to be proud of the fact that we're doing that. And we need to send the message to folks looking for puppies that although no puppy is perfect, we're doing our very best thanks to the science that is available to us. So
absolutely,
a lot to be
absolutely.
thankful for there. Um, yeah, I think the more I speak about thankfulness and gratitude, the more I realize there is. Yeah, there's just so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful for all the positivity in the sport. As as competitors, it's easy to be distracted by the negativity.
Yes.
And I know how you feel about that, Lee. And I want to thank you for always keeping the conversation positive and light and fun. This is an avocation for us as owner handlers, and if it's not fun, there's many, many other things that we could be doing with and without our dogs. But because we're competitive and because we love partnering with our dogs, um, we can do it in a way that is fun and uplifting and really reflects on the sport as a whole. I think when we all sort of we spoke about this a little while ago. When we're congratulatory, when we're just being good sports, it reflects well on each and every one of us. And so
Yeah.
I think I want to say that I'm just grateful for every exhibitor, every owner handler who's a good sport when they may not want to be. And I think that's what true sportsmanship is, when you can hold your head up high after a defeat and congratulate. And I think that that's a big part of our sport. I think that we can show the world how to be kinder and, yeah, just good sportsmen and women.
You know, it's it's really about who you are inside, that you can overcome feelings of whatever they are, loss, disappointment, overcome those feelings and rise up above them and leave them behind because they're not useful for what you're really trying to accomplish. So that's my tip for the day. And we said we are going to keep it short, so
Well,
let's.
we're down to 30 minutes. Thank you, Lee, for that last comment. And I think we can end the show with on that positive note. Thank you once again for giving all of us a reason to be grateful. Thank you to all of you for taking part in the sport and for being there in the ring every weekend with the dog that you love, that you've committed to, and that you are responsible for. And thank you for sharing your wins with us here at Ring Ready and in Showsite Magazine. If you are fortunate enough to have a victory that you'd like to celebrate in our pages, please reach out to Megan, Meegan, at showsitemagazine.com. She is always available to you, and she is one who can make things happen for you. So she's part of this dynamic team, and we are grateful for Megan and her efforts as well. So, on behalf of Megan, Alex, and Lee Whittier, the Dog Show mentor, I'm Dan Sayers. I want to thank you for being part of our community and for sharing a part of your week with us. And I look forward to getting together with you again next week. So until then, to my American friends, happy Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. To the rest of you, I hope that your day is wonderful and that you enjoy the kind of meal that we're all about to enjoy here in the States. So until then, till we meet again, remember to have fun with your dogs.
See you in the winner's circle. And a big shout out to Showsite Magazine for making all this possible.
Thank you, Showsite.